Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Terri. I make Philippine Travel Updates. In this video, I'll answer some of your questions, Q&A, and these questions are repeatedly asked by many travelers, so let's answer those questions. And before we get into the Q&A, I'd like to clarify for the unvaccinated that you can still travel from Manila to your provinces or from your provinces to Manila if you are a returning resident to or from to the National Capital Region. You are allowed to travel. So for example, if I am unvaccinated, my final destination is Davao, Manila to Davao, yes, I can still fly as long as I have proof of residency. Same thing with children. Unvaccinated children can also travel as long as they're accompanied by fully vaccinated adult who is going home to their final destination, not for leisure. Now let me answer some question. This one is from Just Me. Can you tell me what do I need to do if I'm traveling from Manila to Cebu on domestic flight? Do I need testing? You guys can check the domestic flight requirements here. So for example, if you're flying with Philippine Airlines, go to travel information, click COVID-19 travel guide. Okay, then go to travel rules and requirements. And then traveling within the Philippines. So kahit pa if you're flying with other airlines, it's the same requirements. So for example, Cebu, click Cebu. It's at your destination. So there is it. There is the requirements. O pag Cebu province, fully vaccinated, valid ID, vaccination card. If unvaccinated, medical certificate. But for ROFs, they shall be allowed entry. Then, yeah. This is all the requirements, guys. It should just be here po. Hanapin nyo lang yung domestic destination ninyo. So, for example, yan, Siargao. It's also here. I will not get into that. And it also states here whether you need S-Pass or not. Just go to the airline's website. Next up, we have Marietta Manalo. Jennifer, how about the unvaccinated but dual citizen? Required pa din ba? So, mga dual citizens po, you are a Filipino citizen. So, starting February 16, even if you're unvaccinated, you can still enter the Philippines. You are not considered a foreign national because you are a dual Filipino citizen. Considered as Filipino citizen ka po. As long as you have your Philippine passport, it should be alright. Your reacquisition certificate, it shows that you are a Filipino citizen. Thus, the no vax, no entry rule for foreign nationals does not apply to you, to us. Okay? So, you can still enter unvaccinated dual citizens. Next is from Cynthia. Hi Jen, my PCR test result was received in 6 days. Pwede pa ba ang result ng rapid antigen test to get the result in 15 minutes? If traveling po to the Philippines, no. You must have an RT-PCR test result. However, if you're flying to the US, they accept rapid antigen test. Next is from Ruby. How about positive after the 5th day from the yellow country? So if you test positive in the quarantine hotel, your stay in the quarantine hotel will be extended. So either you stay in the same hotel or whether you will be extracted, transferred by BOQ to another facility, to another hotel. But how many days? So for example, you got tested on the 5th day. Your result is positive plus 7 days. So the day of swab will be day 1. So total of 5 plus 6, 11 days quarantine. Or it could be 12 days quarantine. In between that, 11 or 12. But if you're unvaccinated, it will be longer. Umaabot ng 15 days. Next up is from Ramon. Jennifer, I like your vlogs. Thank you. I have one question. Can I be with my girlfriend in one hotel quarantine? Well, if you travel together and if you are under the same household, I don't see the reason why not. Other travelers have done it. So if those who can quarantine together are families of the same household who traveled together, health and emergency frontline personnel, guests requiring a companion, for example, senior citizens, PWD, those with medical illness, yung mga bata na under 18, ayan. Other cases, they require waiver. Pero hindi na po masyadong strict ngayon yung quarantine together, unlike before. Pwede naman po talagang magsama sa hotel, lalo na magkapamilya. Next question is from Alec. Kailangan pa ba rin ba ng One Health Pass? Yes, you still need to register to One Health Pass. Register 3 days before your flight. Green list, yellow list, red list, you need One Health Pass. Next is, does PAL allow connecting flights? If it's international, if it's domestic to international po, pwede. Domestic to domestic, pwede. International to international, pwede. But what is not allowed is coming from abroad. You land in Manila and then you fly straight to another domestic flight. For example, Cebu. Hindi po pwede because you have to first quarantine in your first port of entry. I want to emphasize this again. First port of entry, kung saan po yung unang airport na papasukan niya sa Pilipinas, doon po kayo magka-quarantine. Next is from John. Good PM po. Nag-positive result ko sa PCR. I'm sorry to hear that, John. Rebook flight ko. Need ko po ba mag-RT-PCR ulit? Tapos na 14 days quarantine ko. Kailangan ng medical certificate na hindi na ako infectious. I assume John is already in the Philippines. Depende po, it depends kung ano ang requirement ng inyong country of destination. Pero maraming countries, they accept proof of recovery. So, yung medical certificate, fit to travel, and positive result ang kailangan. So, depende po sa country of destination ninyo. Next is from Maria. Hello, Miss Jen from Hong Kong, uuwi ng Pinas. Pa-help po, February 11 flight ko Cebu Pacific. Kailan po dapat ako magpa-swab? So, kung February 11 po ang inyong flight, February 9, pwede ka na pong magpa-test. Pwede ka rin magpa-test sa February 10. So, tama po yung February 9 or 10. So, nasa sa inyo po kung kailan kayo magpapaswab. The important thing is, dapat lumabas na yung result nyo before yung flight ninyo. Okay? Pasok na pasok po itong February 9. Next is from Juana. What will happen to those who have connecting flight after arriving in the Philippines? What if the test PCR will required? I am confused. Kung may connecting flight po kayo, for example, we have kababayans, layover sa Singapore, 12 hours, 15 hours. Other countries, masyadong mahaba yung layover. By the time they arrive in the Philippines, the 48 hours lumampas na. Is that still accepted? Yes po. Because the basis ng ating negative test result is departure. Yung pag-alis, not arrival. So, as long as tanggapin ng airline nyo yan, okay po. Departure po ang basis natin, hindi arrival. So, doon po tayo magka-count ng 48 hours sa oras ng pag-alis ng eroplano sa abroad, pauwi, papuntang Pilipinas. Next is from Sha. Sana mapansin po dyan. Kapag may kasamang bata unvaccinated, tapos vaccinated naman ang parents, 7 days pa rin ba ang quarantine or 5 days? So, the protocol po of the children will follow the protocol of the parents. So, for example, if unvaccinated ang bata pero fully vaccinated ang parents na kasama, then, follow po tayo ng fully vaccinated protocol. So, for example, kung yellow list, then 6 days quarantine. Okay? Kung green list, fully vaccinated yung kasamang adult, edi wala ng quarantine. So, the protocol of the child po will follow the protocol of the parents. Because the child will be with you. They cannot quarantine on their own. Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng mag-isa lang sila sa hotel. Hindi din naman pwedeng mag-isa lang silang umuwi sa bahay. Next question is from Merca. In regards to IATF Resolution 157, paano kung kapag 2 vaccine shot pero wala pang booster? Is that considered as fully vaccinated? Yes. As long as you receive po your second dose 2 weeks after. Okay? 2 weeks after arrival in the Philippines. 2 weeks before arrival in the Philippines. Hindi pa po required ang booster shot para matawag na fully vaccinated. 2 shot if it's a 2 series doses like Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, Sinopharm. Pero if it's J&J, 1 shot, considered ka na fully vaccinated. Booster shot is still not required to be considered fully vaccinated. Next is from Precious Joy. My live-in partner here po in Saudi Arabia and he's Indian. Plan niya ulit magbakasyon po dito in Manila. Makakauwi pa po siya dito. Unfortunately po, your live-in partner is considered a foreign tourist. Thus, he is not allowed to enter the Philippines. Without a visa, you cannot enter the Philippines. And there is no visa issued to foreign tourists right now. Since you are not married, he cannot enter the Philippines. Sorry, Precious Joy. Next is from Bujun Salting. Hello, Jen. Will the CDC card from US do or do I need anything else to present? The US CDC card is accepted, is recognized in the Philippines. So you don't need anything else. CDC card is enough. Next is from Rama. Is visa on arrival available on February 16? No. The visa on arrival is not yet open. February 16 is the date when all foreign nationals will be required to be fully vaccinated to enter the Philippines. That's it. But it's not the reopening date to foreign tourists. Next is from Ariana. I like the name. Hello po, makapasok na ba ang Korean citizen sa Pinas? Sana makapasok na Korean BF ko. Taga na namin nag-iintay. I feel sorry for you, Ariana. So many people are in the same boat. They have been waiting for their foreign partners to be allowed entry. Unfortunately, the Philippines does not recognize unmarried couples right now. They see them as foreign tourists. Foreign tourists po are still not allowed at the moment. Let's just wait for another announcement at the end of the month. Hopefully, there will be changes. We pray that the COVID cases in the country will decline. Then, I think they will again talk about foreign tourists. Next is from MCBK. Oh my! It's hard to book a PCR test at new changes na naman. I wonder if I'm traveling this January 23rd. When will I schedule my RT-PCR test to fit in the 48 hours requirement? So if your flight is January 23, you can get tested po January 21. So minus 2. So January 21, you can get tested na po. If your flight is on 10 a.m. at 10 a.m., then you should have your test January 21 after 10 a.m. Next is John CHK. Korean citizen na po, pero original Filipino. Original Filipino, I like that term. Makakapasok po kaya ako ng Pilipinas. Former Filipino, yes. Yes, you can still enter the Philippines. Wala na po akong old Filipino passport, pero meron po akong Xerox copy ng birth certificate. Tatanggapin po kaya ang Xerox copy? Hindi po ako sure sa Xerox copy po, ha? Lalo na po if it's old. Ay suggestion ko po, you can order birth certificate online po. Pwede nyo pong ipa-deliver sa family nyo sa Philippines po. Tapos ipa-deliver na naman sa Korea. I know it's hassle, pero if you want to be safe, na sureable na makapasok ka, na hindi ka harangan ng airline, yun po ang masasuggest ko. I'm not sure if your Xerox photocopy of birth certificate will be accepted. Yeah. Pero sure po nga pwede ka makapasok. Sana lang po ma-update yung birth certificate ninyo. Next from is Joshua. How about local or Philippine travel lang? Need pa ba rin mag-prepare ng negative RT-PCR test result? So it depends po. It depends where you are going in the Philippines. Some areas hindi nagre-require, some areas require negative test result. So I suggest go to the airline's website. This one, for example, this one Philippine Airlines, it shows to you the requirements per province. So for example, Davao, no need for a negative test result. Yan, walang requirements ang Davao. It's very easy to enter here. Just valid ID. So, it depends po sa province. Next is from Ronald. Paano kung 10 years na akong di nagbabayad ng OWA? Pero dati po akong OFW about 11 years ago. Okay po. Depende po. What is your current status right now? Baka permanent resident na po kayo sa abroad. Baka naging citizen na kayo sa abroad. Ang question lang po, what is your current status? Kung hindi ka na po OFW, then non-OFW na po yung pag-arrive sa Philippines, non-OFW na po. Kung hindi na po kayo talagang OFW. Pero kung undocumented po kayo na nagstay sa abroad, na nagtatrabaho, pwede pa rin makalibre ng hotel. Just show proof po na nag-work kayo abroad na uuwi na kayo ng Pilipinas. Next is from Guapo na Bata, Bisaya Ite. Hi Jen, the vaccination small white card from you is accepted? Yes po, very much accepted ang white CDC card. Okay na po. Next from Leticia, how about Sweden? Sweden is considered a yellow list country. The protocol is, you're traveling with your Swedish passport husband. Your Swedish husband can enter the Philippines, just bring your marriage certificate as long as you travel together. Basta magkasama kayo, pwede siya makapasok sa Pilipinas. Hindi na kailangan mag-apply ng visa. Dalhin nyo lang marriage certificate ninyo. And this is the protocol for yellow list country. Yan, if you're both are fully vaccinated, you can quarantine together in the same room, 50 testing. So, book for 5 nights in an accredited quarantine hotel. Next is from Pearl. Our unvaxxed U.S. citizens who are 13A visa holders can enter the Philippines before the end of the month? Yes, because the vaccination requirement will start February 16. But I like what my friend / comment moderator replied to. Let me read it. The vaccination requirement for foreigners starts February 16. Unvaccinated foreigners with valid and existing visas can enter the Philippines until then. But they may face serious problems with transit, no vax, no ride, and may be unable to enter businesses and services. That is right. Especially if you live in like major cities, Manila, Cebu, they're quite strict. Now, I would like to clarify from my last update on about US travel. You don't have to follow the 24 hours testing requirement. You can get tested the day before your flight. It doesn't matter what time as long as the day before the flight. The order uses 1-day time frame instead of 24 hours to provide more flexibility to air passengers and aircraft operators. By using a 1-day window, test acceptability does not depend on the time of the flight or the time of the day the test sample was taken. So if your flight is on Friday, you can get tested anytime on Thursday. You can also get tested on Friday, as long as you have your result before your departure time. So this is all for the Q&A video. If you want me to make more of these videos, comment down below. Please stay safe. If you're going to the Philippines, bring medicines for flu. Right now I have it, and most of my family have it. It's very common. It's like I don't know anyone who doesn't have it now here in our province. Yeah, anyways, I'm fine, guys. Thank you so much for this. For your questions, I'll see you again with another Q&A video. Stay safe and God bless you all. Bye!